On the 22nd and 23rd of May 2012, in Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria, a workshop was held to study the feasibility of the establishment of an Ecowas investment guarantee reinsurance agency. The purpose of this study was to help mitigate the risk profile in the region and bolster investment capital, offering a window for reinsurance to the insurance industry in Ecowas.
The problematic of foreign direct investment is a very important one and a very interesting one and a very complex one. Africa and West Africa in particular, they have not enjoyed in the recent years very large inflow of foreign investment.
The drive had been that all those models need to be identified and tested to see if we can implement them in our environment. And I can tell you that this one that we're talking about today, being supported by Ecowas and EU to establish an agency called Investment Guarantee Agency and Reinsurance, I'm sure this will go a very long way to give support to investors that want to do investment.
The forum was addressed by key players from the major organisations within the African insurance industry. Among these were ATI, MIGA, WICA and Africa Re.
The ATI was established by African member states with the World Bank technical and financial support to fill a market failure. The World Bank provided financial and technical support to allow African member states to fund their membership contributions under the Regional Trade Facilitation Project.
Mr. Cyprian Sakubu presented on the ATI Insurance Company. He spoke about the importance of ATI within the insurance industry in Africa, the experience and challenges of the agency, and how ATI could be a key player in the opening of the new Ecowas agency.
ATI started as a concept at the bank together with partnership of African members. Okay, but the bank funded that initial idea in '97. If you want to start an agency, please realize it takes time, quite a bit of time, and money, etc.
Discussions typically focused on the challenges and difficulties of opening the new agency, and whether it be better to open a totally new agency or create a partnership with the existing ones.
The recommendation as I see it is for us to have one big Pan-African body. Now, isn't it better for us to have COMESA investment guarantee, Ecowas investment guarantee, SADC investment, regional based stuff, rather than concentrating everything in one institution?
This is about trade and investment. It's not just about investment. And second, when you do trade and investment, it's really important as you mitigate risks to have the sufficient capital behind you in order to leverage and to take on those risks. Okay? A single Pan-African institution would be much easier to do that.
No single country can cover its own political risks, because any entity within any country is subject to political risk. So you need a supranational entity which has the strong governance, which has diplomatic privilege and immunities, and which has the capacity, the ability to provide a strong security to an international investor.
Mr. Omar Sek provided a presentation on the feasibility study of the agency, in which he talked about the services it will provide, location, and the key areas the agency will need to focus on. This also included the capital needed in setting up the agency, both as an independent organisation or in partnership with other agencies already operating in the region.
There is one key barrier, is your credibility. Your credibility meaning your rating. If you are not well rated, you cannot enter this market. It's a closed market because it's based on trust. We need a minimal startup capital of $300 million to start with. I mean, the lifeblood of an insurance company is the quality of this capital. So we have to make sure that if Ecowas is really serious about getting into the PRI business, the capital issue has to be taken care of.
For me, there are three key areas that struck me quite strongly. The first one has to do with the business climate issues. Every single report, feasibility study report, every single presentation that I have sat in, this has always been an issue, and political risk has always been highlighted as one of the key elements.
We are not talking about commercial risks which are already assumed by general insurance companies. ATI was not formed to compete with insurance companies. ATI was established to provide a complementarity to strengthen existing insurance companies.
Okay, I understand your argument on incentives, but don't forget the business. It's about generating the business. It's not about the politics. It's the business. If you're trying to have a successful, profit-driven organization, it's got to be about the business.
So we need to be able to have a situation where we have an efficient, results-oriented mechanism that is easy to follow and easy to implement.
I think what we should be doing after the elaborate study we've just heard is how we can bring together these institutions and find a common ground.
We will be of help to each other. We will partner each other as Pan-Africans or as regional institutions. That for me is better than depending on just one body and all of us putting our interests and our hope and aspiration on one body.
Insurance is about pulling the volume together. So if we can pull the volume in one place or in 3 places, then we can write it. We couldn't do much because we didn't have enough volume.
In 1973, a group of insurance practitioners from Ghana, Nigeria, the Gambia, Sierra Leone, and Liberia met in Accra, Ghana, to form the West African Insurance Consultative Association, with the aim of putting in place structures that will enhance and facilitate the development of the insurance industry in West Africa. We don't see ourselves as competitors. We see ourselves as collaborators. So the issue of partnering is not new to us. So I can, with the Ecowas investment guarantee thing, I can assure you reinsurance companies in the sub-region already have a mindset about partnering.
So we have a problem here now. We need this agency. Is it possible also that we can think about placing a certain fund with guidelines with one group to manage in a way that it can address the problem that we have?
Okay, our mission is to be the reinsurer of choice in Africa and other chosen markets through innovative and capacity building application combined with commitment to customer satisfaction and corporate profitability. It's involved in all classes of reinsurance business, including property, liability, etc. Currently, the one we are working on is index-based insurance, and so definitely political risk and credit risk is an emerging risk that our company will be interested.
The feasibility study has shown that the option of creating a new institution should not be considered, but rather the initiation of a financial and technical support program for the existing regional institutions.
Fine, he has been very clear. Governments now don't just give money away like that. But then at the same time, what facilitation processes can governments, put in place so that we can easily achieve the results that we're looking for?
The government resources is becoming thinner and thinner, and the responsibility is enlarging. So we must learn to look away from government investing. They don't have the money. The resources isn't there.
Then, very briefly, I will highlight some main ideas which can be taken as a conclusion. It's quite clear that nobody wants to, let's say, create a new animal. There was a fear when we talked about creating a new agency. That was the words which were used. Well, it's quite clear that nobody at this point wants that, and there's a strong preference to using existing organization, existing entities.
There's always a the source of an idea. And the source of this idea is WICA. And I think we need to recognize that. For us as Ecowas Commission, we like to pick the ideas from the practitioners and raise the idea to the multilateral platform, nurture it to a stage where it is ready to take off, and hand it over to where it rightly belongs, which is the private sector. That's the only vehicle for sustainability.
The closing session included a press conference where Mr. Alfred Braimar and other high-level officials from ECOWAS answered questions by members of the local and regional print, internet and television media.
Now, the process started with an engagement with EU, BISCLIM, leading to the appointment of a consultant led by Mr. Umar Sheikh to drive this whole process. And we needed to just ask and answer one question and confirm our already existing belief that having this agency will be useful.